Hi, I'm Bill Dillon from Vero Beach High School. Welcome to Young Minds, the only television program in the area that tells you what's going on with young people here in Indian River County. Today I'm here with Miss Andrea Twitchell, who has gained a little bit of notoriety throughout the community as being one of the few students from Vero Beach High School and from Indian River County who are going to be attending a service academy for their four-year college plans. Welcome to the show, Andrea. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing pretty good, okay. Well, Andrea is going to West Point, which is the United States
Military
Academy at West Point, and that's in New York, right?
Correct.
Is it kind of by D.C.? Or, by New York City, I mean?
It's like about a half hour away. No, wait. I don't know. It's either a half hour, 30 miles, give or take.
It's close to the
It's
city.
close.
It's close to the city? Okay. And why don't we start off by just telling us, what your thought process was getting involved into the Service Academy. Tell us about some of the other colleges you looked at and how you put the Military Academy, as one of your college choices.
Well, I looked at 4 very different colleges. I applied to U of F, which is, basically you go in and you fend for yourself. I applied to Davidson College in North Carolina, which is a very small private college, and there you have very small classes and you can get help whenever you need it. But you basically can make your own structure. And then I applied to West Point and the Air Force Academy, and both of those are very structured military schools. And basically my thought processes in choosing West Point were the fact that you get a wonderful education, it is free, you start your career right away, you get to be a great leader. I mean, when you graduate, you're a second lieutenant, which is fairly high up in the ranking. Then also you have no distractions in your studies. You have they have mandatory study hours every night for 4 hours. So and in choosing between the Air Force and West Point, it's just West Point seemed to fit my personality better.
So are you thinking about maybe a career in the armed forces, or?
Well, I don't think that I'm going to rule that out. If I really like the military, which I may, then I'll stay in because it's great. I could be retired at age 37, but if I find that it's not for me, I want to go a different direction, I can get out after 5 years.
I don't really know a whole lot about the structure of the Army. Tell me, you said you're going to be a second lieutenant when you graduate. Where is that on the totem pole of military structure? Do you know?
It's probably around the middle because second lieutenant you go up to, I think there's second lieutenant, I think major, lieutenant colonel, and then you get up into the generals, or wait, there's like lieutenant, captain, so that's the top bracket.
So you're in line for you're at the bottom end of the upper bracket.
Right.
You're in line for good promotions, and basically you can eventually, if you stay in it, become a general, right?
Well, feasibly, yes.
But it's tough though.
Well, if you're outstanding enough, you can do anything. I mean, their rating system is one that rewards excellence.
Tell me a little bit about, first of all, the steps that you had to go through to apply to a service academy.
Well, there's a lot of paperwork. They send you, it's just like any normal college. You have to write essays, you have to send them transcripts, you have to send them letters of recommendation, but you also have to apply to both of your state senators, your representative, and you can even apply to the vice president for, you have to be nominated to go. And you have to give them all of your scholastic information, you have to give them letters of recommendation, and then you have to go to a site of their choice to be interviewed by their committee. And their committee will recommend you to either the senator, representative, or, well, I'm not sure about the vice president. I didn't really explore that. But then when the committee recommends you to them, they can recommend you to the academy. And I know I was recommended by Representative Weldon, and he nominated 10 people to go to the service academy, and normally only about 2 or 3 of those 10 get chosen to actually go to the academy.
That's a pretty good, percentage. It's a real honor then to be admitted with only that few people getting accepted. Do you have any idea how many? Do you have any idea how many of the other senators, how many people the other senators and representatives let in? I mean, do you know how many
No.
people? Do you have any idea how many people from the state are going to be going?
Well, I know from this town there are 4. There's Danny Colantrelli and Tim Harloff from St. Ed's, and there's a boy from Sebastian, and then there's myself. We're all going to West Point. And I know from this district there's a few that are going to the Air Force Academy, and I know Garrett Kolzicki was nominated for Annapolis, but I don't know if he's going. He's from St. Ed's.
When you get nominated by your representative, does that go ahead and nominate you for all the service academies or just specifically
Just
for West Point?
specifically for West Point.
So did you also get nominated for the Air Force Academy then? Or?
No, I did not.
No. Okay. Well, tell me then a little bit about. So the requirements for getting in are, basically the same as any other college, and then you have to get recommended by a senator or a representative. And then do you also have to take a physical test?
Yes,
Tell
I
me a little
had
bit
to.
about
Well, you really should. You have to train for it because it's mostly a lot of the things are. I mean, you have to be in physically very good shape, but there are also skills that you have to practice. Like I had to do a kneeling basketball throw where you have to throw the basketball with one hand, and I had the strength to do it. I just didn't have the technique I needed to get it right, so I had to practice that. You have to do, for girls you do flexed arm hang, for boys you do pull-ups. Then you have to do a standing long jump and a shuttle run.
And do you remember any of the time requirements or anything for that?
Well, I know that they want you to be above the middle line. If you apply, they send you a booklet with all the numbers in it. But for the flexed arm hang, I had to be above 22 seconds. The standing long jump, I believe they want you to be in the 6 foot. I believe 6'2". They want you to be about 40 feet for the basketball throw, and let's see, for the shuttle run, they want you to be 68. But that's girls.
And those are girls' requirements, and the guys are a little bit more, longer and more push-ups and stuff.
More pull-ups and less time for the shuttle run.
Okay. Where did you go to do your physical test?
I went to FIT gym in Melbourne.
And they did like a group?
They normally did a group, but when I went, I had to take it twice because I had just been recovering from stress fractures when mine was scheduled. So they allowed me to take it again. And both times I went, I was scheduled in a group of people, but I was the only one that showed.
Oh, that's kind of putting you on the spot there.
Well, actually, it was easier for me. I work better.
Cool. I'm glad that it worked out for you that way then. Tell me then, we talked about admissions and all that to the service academies. Tell me a little bit about, some of maybe the different experience you have now that you've been accepted. What kind of things are happening to you, in the community and around town and with mailings from the college and stuff. What's going on with you there?
Well, a lot of people recognize me, and a lot of people have been congratulating me. As for college mailings, I mean, they still come in. Because the colleges don't know. I even wrote I had been accepted to Davidson and U of F, and I forgot to mention Smith College, and I had to write them letters saying, that I had chosen where I was going to go, and they even still send me things. But it's a hard decision to make because I'm facing a lot of structure, and the first year you're treated. I'm not going to say as a second-class citizen, but you're not treated as though you know as much as the upperclassmen because you really don't. They want you to succeed, but in order to do that, they believe you have to know what it's like to be on the bottom rung.
Okay. Speaking of being on the bottom rung, then, you're about to face 6 weeks of basic training. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about what you're going to have to go through?
Well, I know that for a week you go and you camp. And I believe they teach you survival skills. You do a lot of calisthenics, a lot of push-ups and a lot of sit-ups. You run. They teach you how to march. The very first day you get there, you are admitted at 10. You go around, you get every uniform that you need. You get checked by the physical staff there to make sure you're still qualified. And then you have to put everything away, and they teach you how to march, and you give a parade at 3 o'clock that day in full dress uniform.
So they really, kind of punch it into you.
Yeah.
So you do that for then 6 weeks, and then after you graduate, I guess, from basic training, what's the next step after that?
Then you start your academic year as a plebe. Before you get out of basic training, you're not even a plebe yet. And then you still have to salute your upperclassmen. You have to call them sir and ma'am. You don't even know their first name. You must call them by their last name. You have to salute the higher officers on campus, like your teachers and just campus officials. And it's other than that, it's just, you have your basic classes.
Well, that's kind of another interesting thing that I was going to ask you. What do you study at a service academy? What are the classes? What are you going to be taking?
Well, I could, if I declare a language major right away, take language as well as the, required math courses, English, history, computer science. But if not, I'll be taking, I'm not sure that if I don't declare a language major, what would fill in that language course.
So would you say that it kind of goes towards a liberal arts education then, or do you learn more like English and math? Or?
It's mainly an engineering.
Oh, is it really?
Engineering geared.
So you take more math and science courses then?
Well, you take a lot of math and science courses, but they don't rule out the fact that maybe you don't want to be an engineer. There are a lot of branches.
Sure. Okay. Do you also then throughout the year keep up with your like military training, like?
Well, every day you have 2 required PE courses. One is a class. They have gymnastics, and you learn how to do like a cartwheel, round off, and a certain obstacle course. They also have a swimming requirement, and then the afternoon is something of your choice. Like I'll pursue tennis in the afternoon, so
I'll
play tennis every day.
In high school too, haven't you? Okay, and so you'll pursue tennis, and then do you also have like marching class or something like that?
Well, I think they take care of that in basic, but you have to, like every morning, noon and night, you have to form for dinner and breakfast and lunch. You have to get out in the courtyard in your company, and you have to stand until, I guess when I was there, they just said, they did a haircut check.
Yeah.
So if they have any business to take care of, they take care of it, and then they let you into lunch.
Okay. Speaking of haircut checks, are you going to have to shave your head?
I will not have to cut my hair.
Which is, I suppose for a girl. Do the guys all have to shave their heads? Or?
Yes, but they can't have it shaved when they go up. They have to let the military haircutters do it. And as I've heard from everyone, you do not want them to cut your hair.
Well, we've talked about maybe your career options after that. It seems like it's going to be a whole lot of work at a service academy, but I think you're going to probably get a tremendous education and tremendous personal growth out of it. And, you've discussed going into possibly the military, but do you think that there's going to be any other careers that you'll be prepared for?
Well, they say that the military is the largest corporation in the United States, and they prepare such good leaders that I could go into business if I wanted to. If I pursue medicine, I could start my own practice, because that is another interest of mine. Basically, I believe that if I graduate from there and I excel there, that there isn't much that I can't do.
Well, I agree. And I've known you for a long time, and I know that you'll probably do pretty well up there. So I wish you the best of luck, and I think it's really cool that somebody I know is going to be in the Army, And, for Young Minds, this is Billy Dillon with Andrea Twitchell, West Point future attender, West Point, future plebe at West Point?
Future plebe.
So for Young Minds, this is Billy Dillon signing off. See you guys later.